Across to Lokesh Jindal of the Congress, Muhammad Asif Suhail is a political analyst. R.P. Singh is there with us, gender parity activist. Zakia Soman is also there with us. We're also going to be joined by Mr. Bhandari, Ishkaran Bhandari, who's a lawyer who can walk us through why the UCC doesn't discriminate against different sections of the public or reduce India into a laboratory, Hindutva Iran and whatnot. Lokesh Jindal, let me begin with you first. You're an articulate spokesperson of the Congress party, you're a defender, you're a lawyer, I'm told. So I want to begin by asking you, Mr. Jindal, do you think when Karti Chidambaram says that the attempt is being made to turn one state of the Indian Union and soon others into a Hindutva Iran stands the test of reason when some of the greatest luminaries, the founding fathers of our constitution, and also, of course, of the Congress party have advocated for a UCC? Were they all part of some RSS conspiracy?
The vision of the founding fathers was to gradually realize UCC, not necessarily by law, but also by social reforms and cultural transformation. Now, today we will discuss the Uttarakhand Uniform Civil Code in depth. Look at the provisions of UCC in the Uttarakhand. It makes registration of marriage compulsory and the register is open for inspection. Now, that means that you have given a complete power to the registrar and the police to carry out surveillance. If there are certain people belonging to the fundamentalist ideologies, don't you think they are intruding into the privacy of individuals? They can always carry out moral policing, enter houses of interfaith couples, intercaste couples, khap panchayats. Now they will have a complete register with themselves to find out people who have indulged into intercaste marriage or interfaith marriage, and these could be targeted. This sets a dangerous precedent. It is with this context that Karti Chidambaram said that this bill is aiming at closing all forms of institutional framework for social intercourse. The idea is the Uniform Civil Code and its provisions. Yes, we do agree that there are certain provisions which are progressive in nature, but then there are loopholes in this UCC that is presented by the Uttarakhand, and there is an intent of political mischief that can be exploited by the ruling regime. That is what we oppose. Yes, sir.
Okay, that is what you oppose. The registration of marriage, which is compulsory. Well, do you know, sir, that under the Special Marriages Act, that is also a requirement?
Yes, but that's a choice. Over here, if a person fails
that's
to
not a
register
choice,
a marriage,
sir. Under Special Marriages of Act, no, one second. Under Special Marriages Act, sir, registrars have the right to scrutinize your notification of marriage is put up on a board for, as you say, KAP and other panchayats to raise objections.
To have the marriage registered under Hindu Marriage Act or a secular Special Marriage Act. Now, that is the choice of an individual. But over here in Uttarakhand, every individual, irrespective of the religion,
we would all, Lokesh Jindal, we would all be making a mistake. We would all be making a mistake if we were to assume immediately. Yes, there are dangers, of course. Yes, there are many dangers. But we would be very remiss to immediately attribute a communal motive to all of this. This would cut across every community.
Well, then, Rahul, why is the register
Why fearmonger with minorities? I can't understand what is the meaning of the word Hindutva Iran. Can you please explain this?
Yes.
I am talking about a particular context. Hindutva Iran, what does this mean?
Fundamentalist states or states deriving legitimacy from religion tend to formulate laws to protect basic institutions of religion.
Sir, I would think, fair enough, I would think that a state that guarantees the primacy of religious laws would actually be guilty of veering towards a theocracy, not the other way around. Would you not agree, Mr. Jindal? Isn't that logical?
But Rahul, there is already a
No, I can
secular
understand that there are concerns over privacy and all of that being violated. I completely understand that, and that's a debate we can have. But I cannot understand how you can claim that this is a lurch towards becoming a Hindutva Iran or a Hindutva Pakistan where only one religion is prioritized. This is not the case, sir. In fact, to the contrary, till now the Indian state prioritized the religious edicts of one faith predominantly. Even the Hindu personal code was, as you know, Hindu personal laws were codified. Wasn't that discriminatory? Wasn't that reverse discrimination? Reverse religious discrimination?
Allow me to reply. Rahul, the track record has been that...
No, don't talk about track record, sir. Every law can be abused. No, every law can be abused. Even free speech laws in this country can be abused. And I agree with you, Mr. Jindal, that they can be abused. And I'm not sitting here suggesting that they won't be abused. But I'm only asking you, when you make a communal statement like this, surely, sir, there is a mischief that you are aiming at. And that mischief is to plant fear in Muslim minds and other minds. Of course, what does it mean? Hindutva Iran or Hindutva Pakistan?
Rahul, if you see that religion as a component, a person's belief, these are all covered under the fundamental rights, part 3 of the Constitution.
Sir, we were supposed to aspire towards a uniform civil code. The only codes that only personal belief codes that got codified in this country were on the Hindu side. You know this. Was that not discriminatory? Were we a theocracy at that time? An Islamic theocracy that we punished only Hindus?
Tribes are kept immune or outside this UCC. Can you please explain?
Let me open this up. Let me bring in Zakia Soman. Zakia Soman, of course, there are certain concerns about the UCC that has been brought in Jharkhand because it gives the state the right to step into people's bedrooms, etc. We understand that. But can we summarily suggest that it is a communal law?
So at the heart of the UCC is gender justice and equality. And that is why it is part of the Constitution. Ideally, the community should have themselves reformed their laws. That has happened in the case of the Hindu community, the Hindu Marriage Act, Hindu Succession Act. In the face of opposition also, these laws were codified, a range of laws for the Hindu community. Christian laws were also reformed from time to time, but unfortunately, the Muslims were denied the opportunity of reformed and codified laws, which has been a huge anomaly. And I think that Uniform Civil Code is a very good option for the Muslim community, for the Muslim women also, to realize their rights in marriage and in family. The Uttarakhand draft, now which is passed, it has become law. It has certain very good provisions, some of which have been listed out by you in your opening remarks, pertaining to age of marriage, pertaining to disbarring of polygamy, bigamy, pertaining to mutual divorce, taking away unilateral divorce.
But Zakia Soman, I know that you have fought a long battle for this, but I want to ask you, because you just heard Badruddin Ajmal saying that, you see, this imposition is an unnatural one. And what is unnatural will not be tenable in the long run. Zakia Soman, what is unnatural about differentiating between men and women when it comes to inheritance or when it comes to marriage? Is this something that you have imposed on the community by demanding? And have you then therefore proceeded along an unnatural path?
No, there is nothing unnatural about this because God made men and women equal. It's the patriarchal mindsets, it's the misogynist mindsets which converted everything to the advantage of the male at the cost of the female. So this is, this correction was long pending.